My first impression of this phone is very great. The front is made of glass and a matte glass design in the back as well, which is also glass. The only thing that I don't like about this phone is it comes with nothing, guys. Upon opening in the box, it comes only with a phone and some manuals. Let's start this video, guys, with unboxing. This is the Sony Xperia 5V, and this is one of the phones that has great camera. This has been released in September 2023, so it's only around 4 months old now. First, let's discuss about what we can see in the phone physically. There are various colors of this phone, guys, but here in my hand, I've got the light blue color. So the front and the back is made of glass, and the front screen has a Gorilla Victus 2 with OLED display. The same as in the back, guys. Here in the front, guys, we can hardly notice the front-facing speakers. So we have front-facing speakers in here, hidden in here, this side and this side. We can barely see it, guys, because this phone has got massive bezels. And I hate this bezels, guys. It looks like a 2015 phone, and if you are interested with this phone, guys, I'm going to put a link in the description of this video. And also, please subscribe to the channel, guys, to support me. And also, if you want to see more of these kind of videos about phones and laptop reviews. As what I've said, guys, we have a Gorilla Glass Victus with matte display in the back in here. It's not very easy to put a fingerprint in this type of design, but even that it has a matte design, I can also have a good grip on this phone, which is great as well. In addition, we can see here the back, the 2Z's camera and the ultra wide, which is 0.7mm and 1mm, and the equivalent of these two cameras is 16mm and 24mm. Both cameras are only 12 megapixel, guys. Both of these two, and also the front is also 12. But this small megapixel doesn't bother me. We will make a camera test in a little while, guys, so just stay tuned. In between the camera here, we can see here the flash and a microphone. Now let's just say about the sides, guys. In the sides, we also have a aluminum frame here. So you can really feel, guys, that this is not plastic. It's heavy. It is made of aluminum. In the left, there's nothing but just some lines in there. On the opposite side, we have here the volume button, and also we have here the home button, which is colored dark. This is also a fingerprint sensor, and the sensor is fast, which is fantastic. The sensor is smaller than my Nova 5Ts. And also we have another button here on the lower part, and this is for the camera. This button has two functions: the slightly press and the deeply press. Now on the top of this phone, we have here the 3.5 audio jack and a microphone in here. And in the bottom, we have here the USB-C port for charging and data transfer. We also have here a microphone, and here we have here the SIM card and the SD card slot in here. And to open this, guys, you don't need a pin to open this. You can just open this with your finger, which is very annoying, guys, because it doesn't feel very safe. You can open this anywhere. So if you're in a wet environment, it can be opened accidentally. So yes, guys, you have heard it right. We have here an SD card slot. That's the great thing that I like about this phone, guys, because they preserved this feature, because most of the phones now around today, guys, doesn't have this. You cannot expand the storage. So if you want to increase or improve the storage, just buy your SD card slot, and make sure, guys, that the SD card that you're going to buy is the fastest one, so it doesn't lag. The speed of your SD card varies, guys, because if it is slow, it's gonna make your phone slow. This phone is also IP58. In the description, it says that it can be submerged underwater for 1.5 meters and for the maximum of 30 minutes. But in my opinion, guys, because of the design of the SIM card and SD card slot, I would not recommend that, because it's just too fragile. And also there is some spaces in here, guys, because of the front speakers. There are some spaces in here. You might have difficulty of taking water in there if you put this underwater, and that is more likely the physical features of this phone. Now let's talk about the camera, guys. But before we proceed with that, this phone is designed like a Sony Alpha camera in manual mode. That means that this phone is not very user friendly. I mean that you are going to need to do a little bit more of effort to use this phone. For example, switching button from photo to video, you have to press a specific button. You can't just swipe like the Samsung. You can just easily swipe it from photo to video. In this phone, you have to press that specific button, and that button is not very big, not very noticeable, so it's not that difficult, but you have to press a specific button. We have the main camera app in here, and it gives the feel of modern smartphone. There is log when capturing videos, and this will be helpful for people who likes to color grade their footage. Please note guys that the log is not the same as the Sony Alpha 7 camera. Color and profile picture, it's different guys. It's the mobile version, and it's not even near to the camera's logs or picture profile. This is the phone, and as you can see here, we have here 3 cameras here. One for the basics and for the like A7 version, and we have here the video camera options. So we have here the Video Pro and the Cinema Pro. So this is like more designed like the video camera, like the Venice and the things like that, video camera of Sony, and it's a bit more complicated guys. So let's talk about here first with the A7 version or the A7 phone like version. So we have here the basics. Typically guys, if you're using a A7 camera, if you are a Sony user, we don't have the basic here. We started with auto, with the program auto, shutter speed, manual exposure, and memory recall, but we don't have the basic guys. But in here in this phone we have the basic, because normally this is designed for phones. As you can see here, we have here, I don't have a pointer, so we have here that is a camera, and this is the video camera for photos and for video. So as what you can see here, it's like a video mode, but this is designed for phone. It make us easier for users to switch between just taking photos and taking videos. But if you change the basics to the camera or the A7 mode, that option runs out, so we don't have the option to switch to video mode anymore. So this is like the Sony A7III or A7C or FX version of cameras, but the only difference is we cannot adjust the aperture. We don't have the aperture, which is the most important case for me, is the aperture, blurry backgrounds and things like that. We don't have here. So normally guys, for a camera we have 3 settings guys. For starters, aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. So in here we have the shutter speed here. We can adjust the shutter speed, we can adjust the ISO, but the most important thing is the aperture, since this phone has also 2 more additional camera apps for video capturing. This is the Video Pro and the Cinema Pro app. And if you use this app when capturing video, you will feel the vibe of using a cinema line camera. And there is one thing that makes this phone greater than other phones, because this feature guys I haven't noticed from any flagship phones, and that is the 4K 120 FPS. But the only thing that I don't like about the camera of this phone guys is because the lack of video stabilization. It does have video stabilization, but the quality of the video stabilization is not the same as the iPhones and the Samsungs and the GoPro. It's just lacking some things like that, so it needs improving. To be fair guys, to the present demand of photo quality, I made a comparison of this phone to the Samsung S22 Ultra. And after this test guys, I have assumed, I thought that this phone has poor photo and video capability, and it's all behind from Samsung. But the worst is the low light photo and video guys, because it's just almost unusable. This is one of the downgrade of this phone, and the other thing that I don't like about this is the way how to use it. As what I've said earlier guys, this phone is not very user friendly, and this phone doesn't have a dynamic screen. I do not want to compare this phone to other brands, but the Samsung and the iPhone guys has got a dynamic screen refresh rate. That means that this phone has got a 120 FPS screen, but it's not dynamic. So if you set it to 60, it will remain 60, and if you set it to 120, it will remain 120, guys. So it's not automatic, you have to do it manually. And if you want better performance, guys, you have to click 120, but 120 will reduce battery life. There are also some things about the phone that make it more powerful than other flagship phones, and this phone has got a 5000 mAh battery with 30-watt quick charging, and the fingerprint button of this phone is on the side, the same to the Samsung flip phones and the Nova 5T. Another thing that I like about this phone is the gaming mode of this phone, guys, because we can record live stream on this phone without the need of external app. We can also activate the camera and the position of the screen while gaming, of course. This phone will overheat on intense gaming, but we can tweak the setting and frame rate of this phone as well when it's overheating, and it's on the app as well. In addition, this phone will protect itself when too much overheating is detected, and it will thermal throttle. You will feel it because the phone will lag. In conclusion, guys, this phone feels like a 2015 phone. It has a Sony Ericsson vibe because this phone is not very user friendly. This phone feels like a robot. It feels like a Windows phone, guys. The camera quality is not that very fantastic. Not a bad camera, but if you compare this to other phones with this price, it will fail. It will be the losing game. So what do you think about this phone, guys? Please let me know about your experience from this phone so that other people who are interested with this phone will be notified. Moreover, since this phone is new to the market, Sony will still give support with the next software update with regards to this phone, especially with the camera side. But for now, in my opinion, this phone is expensive for £750. I would rather buy the Samsung S21 or S22 Ultra or iPhone 12 or 13 because those phones has better camera with dynamic screen, better battery. I hope this video helps you in your phone search, and please subscribe to the channel, guys, to see more of this type of videos. Thank you for watching.